The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew.
Glory to you, O Lord.
As Jesus passed by, two blind men followed him, crying out, "Son of David, have pity on us." When he entered the house, the blind men approached him and said to them, "Do you believe that I can do this?" "Yes, Lord," they said to him. Then he touched their eyes and said, "Let it be done for you according to your faith." And their eyes were opened. Jesus warned them sternly, "See that no one knows about this." But they went out and spread word of him through all that land. Sisters and brothers, the Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Please be seated.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Naniniwala po ba kayo sa milagro? Naniniwala po ba kayo sa milagro? Siguro naman naniniwala kayo, Kaya nga siguro isa yan sa reason ko bakit tayo pumunta dito sa simbahan ng Manaoag para makatanggap ng konting milagro man lang. Alam niyo mga kapatid, whenever we talk about miracles, especially during the time of Jesus, it was not understood to be just as a miracle or just an event that happened, a phenomenon that happened, something like that. Hindi lamang siya ganon as it is a miracle. Whenever there was a miracle before, it was understood to be a sign of the coming of the Messiah. Kaya nga every time nakakakita ng milagro ang mga tao sa panahon ng ating Panginoong Jesucristo, senyales na parating na yung kanilang manliligtas. Kaya maririnig natin sa ating first reading, it talks about the glory days, the coming of the salvation. And it is a time, sabi dito, where the deaf shall hear and the blind will see. A time of miracle. So kapag ka mayroong milagro, parating na ang manliligtas. Kaya nga ang miracles during the time of Jesus was all about Advent. In our gospel today, we heard blind men who were cured by Jesus. Again, signs of the coming of the Messiah. Advent season. Kaya mga readings natin sa araw na ito, saktong-sakto, appropriate na appropriate sa ipinagdiriwang natin na panahon ng ating simbahan, the Advent season, or the coming of our Messiah, the coming of the birth of Jesus Christ. And the attitude of the characters in our gospel today, the blind men, were very much appropriate also to Advent or to the coming of Christ. Ano ba yung attitude ng mga blind men na saktong-sakto sa Advent season? We heard of them crying out. Sabi nila, "Son of David, have pity on us." They were somehow begging. And this, I think, is a very appropriate attitude towards Advent. We need to beg. Kaya nga, ang kanta natin sa Advent, O come, Emmanuel, and ransom captive Israel." When we beg, we realize our frailty. When we beg, we realize that we need help. When we beg, we realize of our weakness. Kaya tumatawag tayo ng manliligtas. "Son of David, have pity on us." Another gospel, nandun, kung maalala niyo si Bartimaeus, the blind man, he was also calling Jesus, "Lord, have mercy on me. Christ, have mercy on me. Lord, have mercy on me." An attitude of begging. And that is the right attitude in the season of Advent. Humingi ng tulong. Alam ko sa panahon natin ngayon, mahirap ang humingi o magbeg, lalong-lalo na sa society natin that is constantly injecting on our minds that idea or that thinking that we can do anything and we can do everything with our own power. Na yung ba tipong hindi natin kailangan ng tulong na kung sino man. Hindi nga natin kailangan ng tulong ng simbahan para makatayo tayo sa ating sariling mga paa. Alam niyo po, meron pong heresy na natawag dyan. And it has been existing for a long, long time. Tawag dyan yung Pelagianism. Pelagianism. When we start saying, I don't need God, I can stand on my own. I don't need God to bless me. I could bless my own self. That is already the signs that we don't know how to beg. And that is not the right attitude when we celebrate Advent. For the right attitude of Advent is really to ask for help from God. Kaya huwag tayong mahiya humingi ng tulong. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed asking for help. Kasi alam naman natin yung katotohanan. Kailangan natin ng tulong. Kaya nga, nandyan ang ating Panginoong Diyos. That is the very purpose of why He came to us. To help us. To save us. Now, when we are able to receive Christ in our lives, ano ngayon yung challenge sa atin? As a sign of preparation, we need to beg. Pag dumating na yung ating Panginoong Hesukristo, yung grasya ng ating Panginoong Diyos, yung presensya ng Panginoong Diyos sa buhay natin, ano yung right attitude? Ano yung challenge sa atin? The very challenge for us, whenever the presence of God comes into our lives, be it through miracles or through the graces that He gives us, is to be silent. To be silent. Kaya nga sa ating gospel ngayon, after He gave sight to the blind men, sabi niya, shh, huwag ipagsabi. Bakit? Bakit? I think the Lord Jesus wants these blind men, after receiving His grace, to give that opportunity for them na yung grasya ng Panginoong Diyos lumago sa kanilang mga puso, lumago sa kanilang mga buhay. Bago sila maging busy sa pagpapahayag o pagsasabi na kung ano man yung natanggap nila, kailangang lumago muna sa mga puso nila yon. Ibig sabihin, kailangan magkaroon muna ng effect sa mismong buhay nila. Magkaroon muna ng transformation sa mga buhay-buhay nila. Kaya nga kailangan ng katahimikan muna. And that is where the presence of God truly grows in our lives. In silence. Kaya nga sa Advent season, maganda din siguro pagbigyan natin ang ating mga sarili ng konting pagkakataon na manahimik at alalahanin ang mga grasya ng Panginoon sa ating mga buhay so that it will grow in us. Para ba, in a way, hindi masayang. So as not to spoil the fruits or the grace of God in our lives. Kasi nga kung iisipin natin, nabigyan nga tayo ng grasya. Kunwari, napagaling tayo sa ating mga sakit. Pero naging sakit naman tayo ng puso sa mga tao. Hindi ba sayang yung grasya na yon? O naging bigyan nga tayo ng grasya, naging malago ang ating mga negosyo. Pero naging mandaraya naman tayo. Hindi ba sayang yung grasya na yon? Di ba? So that is why at some point we need that silence to remember that grace of God and to let it grow in the core of our lives. So sana this Advent season, it may truly be for us an experience of the presence of God in our lives, of His coming in our lives, so that we can truly become an authentic, effective messengers of the coming of God, the Advent season in the lives of our brothers and sisters.